All right, we are here for Anniversary Blitz 3. It is a sold-out crowd of 1,000 here at Broadlawns Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. We got a few pre-show matches to get people fired up and get them ready for the main show, as well as a specialty tag tournament, one-night tag tournament we got going on. We'll get to that after these first couple of matches. First off, we got Eric Cannon and Kevin Knight here taking on Flip Forever. It goes just over 8 minutes. Kevin Knight submitting Eli Everfly, and Cannon and Knight getting the win over Flip Forever. Get to our next of our pre-show matches. Regal Twins taking on Filipino Grigio and Caleb Conley, and a decent little match between them there. But we got the Regal Twins getting the win, submitting Caleb Conley in just under 8 minutes. And the Regal Twins getting the win here on the pre-show. And I will say, between these first couple of matches, I believe I pretty much settled on Flip Forever being gone, as well as all four people in this match being gone. We are cutting, I think, a couple of tag teams as well as a couple other guys. And depending on how things go later on, we might be cutting one of our big stars because he's being a pain in the ass. So we'll see. But we have got a special tag deal. We had this set up earlier. It was a gauntlet for the gold. We were going to have 6 different teams competing to eventually during the actual show compete. It was set to be sort of a gauntlet type deal. It was gauntlet for the gold between 6 different tag teams for a shot at the Vertigo tag team titles. We're slightly changing it up where it's going to be 2 3-way matches, and then the winners of the 2 3-way matches are going to face off later on tonight in the final. So we've got our first set here. Tate Twins, The End and The Acclaimed. Solid match between the 3 teams, and with a bit of cheating. The Acclaimed go out first, but then The end up getting cheated out of it by the Tate Twins, and the Tate Twins are moving on to Anniversary Blitz's main show for the Gauntlet for the Gold final. Who are they facing? Well, that gets us to our second match. The Neon Ninjas, the Neo Body Guys, and the Throwbacks. It goes just under 8 minutes. Very quick between the 3 teams here. Very fast-paced action. And the Throwbacks being eliminated first. The Neo Body Guys being eliminated second, as the Neon Ninjas get the win and they move on. So it will be the Tate Twins versus the Neon Ninjas, very reminiscent of 2 years ago, the very first Anniversary Blitz, which crowned the Tate Twins as the first inaugural Vertigo Tag Team Champions, beating the Neon Ninjas to become the champions. So it's been a couple of years, and reminiscent, like I said, of a couple of years ago, and we'll see if the Neon Ninjas can get their revenge on the Tate Twins. We are opening up the show officially with Anniversary Blitz 3, and we immediately start with a 6-man tag. They don't want to wait around too long. The Rascals teaming with Drew Parker to take on the Fed, Heath, Joe Hennig, and Taylor Wyndham. And we got the 6-man tag. These guys go fast-paced action for just over 9 minutes. Zachary Wentz ends up getting the pin on Joe Hennig. And Drew Parker and the Rascals getting a win, opening up the show against the Fed. Let's see here. They said Desmond Xavier. Let's see. Drew Parker sustained a back strain. Desmond Xavier ended up kind of carrying most of the people here. Wentz did pretty okay. Heath did all right. Wyndham did all right. I think everyone did okay. No one was really dragging besides maybe Drew Parker and Joe Hennig. But nonetheless, Parker and the Rascals end up getting the win here. That moves us. They've got that back strain happening here. That moves us to our next match. Christian Casanova has been a thorn in the side of AR Fox the last several weeks, and they're finally going to settle the score between each other here. Good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. But with a Fox catcher 12 minutes into the match, AR Fox does indeed get the better of Christian Casanova once they get to face off one-on-one, and the former world champion securing a victory here at Anniversary Blitz. Although with that, as Fox stands over Christian Casanova, a man dressed in black mask and black sweats and pants and everything, dressed in all black, hits him from behind. And as Fox is recovering, the man pulls off his mask and reveals himself to be Christian Cage. And with that, as Fox recovers, Christian Cage grabs his arms and hits him, lays him out with the kill switch in the middle of the ring. And there you go. Success adequate, as Christian Cage has officially debuted here at Vertigo with an attack on, of all people, AR Fox. Yeah, I do need to import some of the people who I don't think are in this, because I did that, I think, a couple years ago, and I don't know how many of the people from a couple years ago were there. So yeah, I'd have to see if some of these other guys like Obafemi and Trick Williams and Sari and some of the other new Joshi that have come out in the last year or so, they're almost certainly not here. Shane Mercer. Is Shane Mercer still around? I think he is. I think in real life too. I can't remember. He might have just left. I don't know. But we get to our gauntlet for the gold final. Of course, we had in the pre-show, before the actual show, we had both the Tate Twins and the Neon Ninjas. I think I have them shortlisted, actually. I can't remember. I'd have to look. But yeah, Tate Twins and Neon Ninjas facing off in the gauntlet for the gold final. And instead of repeating history, Neon Ninjas get their revenge as Yuta ends up Yuta-locking Brandon Tate, submits him in just under 15 minutes, and they have been through some battles, and the Neon Ninjas end up getting the win, and they have won the gauntlet for the gold, and they have the right to challenge the Vertigo Tag Team Champions. So they will have a tag team match coming up to them. We'll see when that happens, because we ended up having some injuries, and it sounds like we'll be dealing with that at intermission time. But first, the Vertigo Heritage title is on the line. Ty-Ray defending against Ryan Davidson. And yeah, decent enough match between here. Good wrestling, decent reaction. Just over 13 minutes, but a lumbar check by Ty-Ray gets his fourth official defense of the Vertigo Heritage title, and a strong, Jesus, he's a 70. He's a 70 at this point, carrying Ryan Davidson through this match to a really solid match here. And Ty-Ray makes his fourth official defense of the Heritage title as he remains the Vertigo Heritage Champion with his win here at Anniversary Blitz. One called Manders takes on JT Dunn in a street fight. And there's a lot of weapons and plunder. And eventually, one called Manders in about 15 minutes hits a hardcore Western lariat on JT Dunn amongst all the weapons and all the debris of their fight. And Manders ends up getting the pin and getting the better of JT Dunn, as these guys had torn each other apart for weeks in and outside of the ring. And when it was made official here, Manders comes away with the victory and, of course, drags himself out, staff checking on Dunn amongst the weapon debris and the tables and everything else that these guys pulled out. And with that, they're going to have to do some cleanup as we go to intermission. Of course, live band playing for intermission, but we do get some backstage word with Cyrus Fees and Samoa Joe hosting the intermission here, as we get some words with Nick Dinsmore, but he also manages to get a hold of Facade and Wheeler Yuta as he talks about some of the matches that have happened previously, but he did say Facade and Wheeler Yuta have a shot at the tag titles with their gauntlet for the gold win. And he says, I know you guys have been through 2 matches already tonight. However, because of the injury that happened a few days ago at a different promotion for Rhett Titus, he is unable to compete. Therefore, the All Night Express are unable to get their number 1 contender, to get their title match that they earned a few weeks back against Tankman and Lamar. Now, he still promised a tag title match. They don't have to take it if they don't want to, but he did promise a tag title match tonight at Anniversary Blitz. If they want to invoke that now, they can. Facade and Wheeler Yuta think on it for a little bit, and they decide, yes, we're going to do it. We're going to gut it out for one more performance. And with their win tonight, they will be challenging Tankman and Lamar. They will be taking the place of the All Night Express tonight to challenge for the Vertigo tag team titles. They have at least a couple matches to rest up, but they will be on their 3rd match tonight, and they will have a gut check of a performance as they look to potentially become tag team champions, beating Tankman and Lamar potentially. We will see. They will challenge later on tonight. We come back from intermission. We get the Anniversary 3-way match. 2 former world champions in Mayweather and Effie, and another day 1 guy in Tim Donst for this. And a shot at the world title is on the line between these 3 guys. Tim Donst went first. I swear to God, I put Effie first. Hello? Specifically. All right, I guess I'll go fuck myself. Don't put the road agent notes in. I put the road agent notes because I wanted Tim Donst to try to gut out the performance, but all right, I guess. You know what? Yeah, road agent wise, that's what happened. I don't care what this says. Effie went first. Tim Donst never has been world champion. Tried valiantly to make it happen. Wasn't able to make it happen. Either way, it doesn't matter because the winner of the match is Anthony Mayweather. Gets the win in just under 16 minutes. And there you go. So Anthony Mayweather getting the win here, and he has a world title shot coming at him. Oh, that's why we haven't heard from Shane Mercer. I was going to say, I feel like there might have been something with him, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, that's a thing. All right. We get to our next match. Big match here. Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Matt Cardona. These 2 guys were set to face off 2 months ago at Crackdown. Some things that happened. Nakamura was unable to compete in the match. It ended up being PCO taking up his spot. Cardona's still getting the win, but now we do get the match between Cardona and Nakamura. Fantastic heat and good wrestling between the 2. 11.5 minutes, but Cardona ends up getting the better of Nakamura, hits the radio silence, and beats Shinsuke Nakamura here at Anniversary Blitz. And surprising, I guess, potentially. Not so much with the fact that Nakamura can't do more than a 12-minute match, but nonetheless, Cardona does indeed get the better of Nakamura, and he keeps his momentum rolling. And with that, as Nakamura is dealing with the after effects of the match, Cardona grabs a mic, declares Nakamura a mere mortal, as Cardona himself is the indie god. Says that he knew he was going to win. He proclaimed to everybody he was going to win, and he's eyeballing the world title. Now, of course, we've already got a world title shot for Mayweather, but we've got Cardona eyeballing the world title, and we still have an actual world title match. But first, We were promised the tag title match, and it did indeed happen. Oh my God, times are a definite lack of psychology, but you know what? They gutted it out. Neon Ninjas for a third time tonight have a match against Tankman and Lamar. Good wrestling and a decent reaction here. They definitely were playing behind the 8 ball for most of the time here. It was an uphill battle for the Ninjas for 15 minutes up to 16 minutes. And, they did what they could against Tankman and Lamar. And surprisingly, Facade getting a roll up on Lamar. It's not a straight up beating them. They did beat them. They did get a clean roll up. There wasn't cheating involved, but nonetheless, they did still get the 3. And shockingly enough, after 3 years of existence since day one, the Neon Ninjas finally grab the Vertigo tag team titles after they had to gut out 3 different matches tonight to do it, and managed to get a tag title match because of All Night Express not being able to do it. And Neon Ninjas are going to walk away as the new Vertigo tag team champions. Not the greatest of segment ratings, but I think story-wise, fantastic. These guys spent like 40 minutes in the ring because it was like 8 plus about 15 or so. They were at like 20 something before. They were at like 23 minutes before this. So yeah, they were almost 40 minutes in the ring tonight in 3 different matches to get to this point. And they walk away with the Vertigo tag team titles finally. And there you go. Neon Ninjas handed the titles. They celebrate. They are exhausted. They have gone through wars tonight, but they have gotten the better of the Tate twins, silenced any doubt from 2 years ago, and then they've taken home the tag titles as Tankman and Lamar shuffle out. Not too thrilled about it, and they head to the back, and we'll figure out what's going to come from that. We get to our main event for the evening. Mike Bailey defending the Vertigo World Championship against Alex Shelley. Superb wrestling and good heat between the two. Might be one of the best matches we've actually had. 73 is right up there with one of the best matches. It goes 23 minutes between the two of them. And after a shooting star knee drop, Mike Bailey finally gets the 3 on Alex Shelley and gets his 3rd official title defense of the Vertigo World title. So Speedball Mike Bailey is going to be walking out still Vertigo World Champion after one hell of a match against Alex Shelley. And as he celebrates, we haven't seen him in nearly 2 months. He was having a lot of problems trying to find himself, trying to dig himself out of the hole that he had created, not being able to get the big matches done. Ricky Starks shows up as Mike Bailey is celebrating, lays him out from behind. As Mike Bailey goes to stand back up, Starks spears him, and Mike Bailey lets go of the belt. It's laying in the middle of the ring. Ricky Starks grabs the title and holds it up in defiance, as yet we see yet another person eyeballing the world title as a returning Ricky Starks stakes his claim as well and sends a message. And that is how we end the show. 61. Pretty good considering all of our stuff is worse than our rivals. Increased our popularity. Addressed the locker room. I'd say, welcome back, Ricky Starks. Told that he's awesome. Let's see here. I think Facade and Yuta need to be told they're awesome for how they dealt with all that. We'll praise them for their performances. Scene please. There you go. Injury review. All right. 5 days. Drew Parker's back strain. I mean, we're not going to be having a show here for about a week and a half, so he's going to be just fine. We lost another $6,000. We're now $13,000 in the hole. This will hopefully change in the next couple of months. All right, we gained a couple points. I mean, we gained everywhere, but we gained 2 official points in the Mid-South and Northwest. All right, we didn't gain anything in the Midwest? How did we not gain anything in the Midwest? How did that happen? We did like a 61. We did great. Is it because we've already done too many shows? Is that it? Are we at a point where we've done too many shows over the course of a month where they're not going to give us... Have we hit that popularity cap? All right, we start off live stage 51 with our return to Korakuen Hall. 1,330 people this time. Slightly down, but then again, it was to be believed. That was to be assumed with, down from what was our, biggest show of the year and our first big show in Korakuen Hall. But still an extremely strong number. As we start off, Sayuri Namba running down the card, including the Twin Spirit title match between JD Lionesses and AI Princess, as well as the Fighting Spirit title main event between Mika Iwata and Sayakami Tani. Amongst all that, Momoka Hanazono comes out, just starts kind of annoying her with her bubble wand, waiting for her intro as she's already just kind of interrupted, doesn't get like her music and everything. And eventually just goes behind the curtain so her music can hit and she can be introduced for her match against Himawari for the show opener here. Aihara and Kagahiro Osano have good chemistry. All right, I'm definitely keeping them now. Very, very strong that they have good chemistry. That's good. White hot start to the crowd already, despite the subpar wrestling between Momoka Hanazono and Himawari. Goes just under 7 minutes as Momoka submits Himawari and gets a win here in the opening match. We get to our next match of Yuri versus Raku. Just a, simple enough match between the two, back and forth for a little over 8 minutes. Yuri eventually gets the win, and there you go. Yuri getting a nice little victory here in Korakuen Hall for Live Stage 51. We get to a much more consequential match. It is a 6-woman tag match. Momo Watanabe teaming up with Free Wi-Fi, taking on Himika, teaming up against Mari Koto. And great wrestling and good heat between them. Goes 13 and a half minutes as Hikari Noa ends up getting the better of Kohaku and does do some cheating, but Free Wi-Fi end up getting kind of a win here against the former Twin Spirit champions. And it looks like unsurprisingly Himika and Momo Watanabe carrying the place. Kohaku and Maria not doing as well as Now and Hikari is surprising. It is surprising because I'll tell you, this Momo, out of the 6 women listed here, Momo's definitely the best wrestler out of them, but Maria's probably the next best. And the fact that she's like second worst in this is kind of funny. But yeah, nonetheless, Free Wi-Fi and Momo getting the win there. And Momo gets in Himika's face. They shove each other. Of course, Momo not happy about the loss she took at the hands of Himika at the Enduring Spirit event. Going to bed. Have a good night. All right, have a good night. I'll see you in the morning. And so Momo, of course, not thrilled about her loss to Himika, but Himika does have a Royal Spirit title match. Yeah, Andy is actually a friend of mine. So yeah, I do. Yeah, so he's not that kind of friend. The edging streak was real. No, I work with him. That means I can't call in because he was here for this. He'll be like, you know what? I know that motherfucker was up till 1 a.m. streaming. So yeah, Momo, of course, not happy about that, but can't really do too much about it. We get another tag match here. Nodoka Tenma and Mei Suruga taking on two members of Revelation and Michiko and Haruna Neko. Good match between them, but you get the former Fighting Spirit champion and a former Royal Spirit champion against Michiko and Neko. Did what they could, just under 11 minutes, but Nodoka ends up getting a roll-up win over Michiko. And there you go. Nodoka Tenma and Mei Suruga getting a kind of a shocking win there, with Tenma getting a win over Michiko there. I don't believe that's happened in the time that we've that I've been booking here. Neko is the weak link. Neko is usually the weak link. Neko and her sawdust knees are usually the weak link. Tenma gets her shock victory, and as she celebrates it, Michiko lays her out and starts attacking her, stomping on her. Neko ends up recovering a bit, jumps in, and they start beating Tenma. As Mei Suruga is jumping in to try to save them, Hazuki sneaks into the ring from one side of the crowd and attacks Mei Suruga, and ends up kind of throwing her out of the ring and beating her out of the ring. The seconds along the ring, as well as referees and staff, end up kind of breaking up both different beatdowns. But some damage was definitely done between Hazuki, Michiko, and Neko. We get to our next match. Mio Momono taking on Arisu Endo. It's been kind of a showcase match here to see perhaps where Arisu is, especially compared to Mio. Great match, or good match between the two. 11 and a half minutes. Arisu did what she could, but was unable to get the better of Mio Momono. Mio ends up hitting the code red on Arisu and gets the victory. With that, though, afterwards, Mio does grab a mic. She praises Arisu's fighting spirit for sticking with the match as best she could. She hopes next time Arisu can show her just how much better she's gotten. So she feels that Arisu has gotten better in the last year or two, and hopes that the next time they fight, Arisu will be even better. So that takes us to intermission, and just a bit of a 10 minutes between Aihara and Kagehiro Asano, talking about the matches that happened earlier, as well as the upcoming matches. We got one match before we get our two title matches here for live stage 51. So we come back from intermission and we get our match here. Jungle Kiona teaming up with Death Riot, taking on Reika Saiki teaming up with the Strong Kickers, and great wrestling and good heat between all six of them. But Rina Yamashita ends up hitting Splash Mountain on Kamiyu, and in just under 14 minutes, Kiona and Death Riot end up getting the win here. Like I said, with Rina pinning Kamiyu, which is not going to go over well with the Strong Kickers. Let me just see this here. Jungle Kiona, Rina Yamashita. Okay. Not too shocking about all of this. Mirai still being the weak link between these six is interesting. But Mirai, of course, not really standing for this, grabs a mic, and she says, she demands to be able to get a match against Rina Yamashita and avenge the Strong Kickers at the next live stage, and it is accepted. So it looks like I can do a pre-booking. I don't know when I have to see when the next live stage is going to be, but we at least have the first challenge thrown down between Mirai and Rina Yamashita. So we'll have a match between the two of them there. And there we go. We get the Twin Spirit titles on the line. JD Lioness is defending against AI Princess. Decent enough match between the both of them. A little over 12 and a half minutes as Hanan ends up pinning Yuki Arai with a judo throw. I gotta give her a different move. What is it? Can't be a judo throw is Hanan's thing. It's like I guess it is a kind of a variation on a judo throw, but it's like a judo throw slam thing, I think. Either way, Hanan gets the pin, and I think that's the only time, very, very rare time Yuki Arai gets pinned. but she does, and loses it for AI Princess, as it's the first official Twin Spirit title defense for the JD Lionesses since winning it last month at Shining Stage. I had to think about it for a second. All right, let's see here. We go to next one here. Anything happen? Yes, after the match, as they have the titles, free Wi-Fi come out, proclaim about their sort of boast about their win from earlier in the night, where they pinned Mari Koto, and say that it feels like they've won enough matches that they should be challenging for the titles. And they have got Summergate coming up next month, and it looks like we'll be getting another Twin Spirit title match, as the match is accepted, and they kind of go face-to-face with each other. But we have got it set up here. Beyond our Royal Spirit Championship match, we do have the Twin Spirit title match. So we will have the JD Lionesses defend the titles against free Wi-Fi. Boom. Oops. Oh my goodness. Titles. And then put that in there. There you go. All right. So we're getting next month booked. We get to our main event, Mika Iwata defending the Fighting Spirit Championship against Saya Kamitani. And it goes at just under 19 and a half minutes. Creative finish is a success. That was good. Mika Iwata really carried the shit out of Saya for this. But gets a spinning heel kick on Saya. It's a great match between the both of them. And Mika Iwata does get the pin on Saya, and makes her first official defense of the Fighting Spirit Championship. And with that, celebrates with the belt. Thanks the crowd for coming out and for their support. And that is the end of Live Stage 51. 39 regions it got better in. 59, very solid. Addressing the locker room, I'm going to say Mika Iwata definitely deserves something for carrying her match. Let me see here. Mia Momono deserves praise for carrying her match. And let me see here. Who else? Who haven't I praised in a while? We'll say God, I almost don't want to give Saya Kamitani props right now. Like, Arisu. We'll compliment her on a good performance. Seemed pleased, was pleased, seemed pleased. We made money. We actually made money. We had a show. We made money. My God. Profit. It's a profit. $2,700 profit. My God. I didn't know that was possible. We gained a little bit everywhere. Good, good, good. Post show's complete. We are done. Cancel this whole thing out here. Major event booking. Get rid of all of this. We're done with that. We're done with that. Pre-booking. We got most of that shit done. Save that as we will have finishing runs. Made Twitch Europe. Okay. Mr. Iguana bonds with Lilith Dark. Trina Waters and Stephen Wolf have a friendship. Ishii won the 0-1 World Heavyweight Champion. Oh my God, 0-1 exists and Ishii's their champion. And then they finish their run on morale issues. Oh my God, there's already stuff. There's already a bunch of different stuff. Oh, wait. Let me look at media real quick. See the people who are willing to deal with me who might have a spot. It's pretty much the same people. I don't think we're gonna... I didn't know with people finishing up runs. Red shoes. 5,900 people watched. All right. So nothing there. Let's see. Anyone here want to deal with me? Nobody, because I've already got these 5 and I'm not doing these other 3. So, Drew Parker's fully fit. Hiroshi Tanahashi leaves New Japan. Red Shoes Uno is one thing, but Hiroshi Tanahashi, I think I'm probably too small for him. Negotiate. Yep, I'm too small. I'll shortlist him. Oh, he's already on my short list. Probably knew that he was leaving. Him and his bad knees are getting out of there. And in the game, he leaves like a week before Dominion, because Dominion's usually like early July, I think, right? I think they might have changed it, but I think by this point it was still like early July. Oh, I forgot. We got like the half year stuff to do as well. So they got all the half year stats. Male Wrestler of the Year so far, Moxley. Company of the Year so far, WWE, Hashimoto and Mika Iwata. Female Tag Team, Male Tag Team, the Young Bucks. Match of the Year, Okada versus Sonata. It's Best of the Super Juniors 30. Best of the Super Juniors 30 with Show of the Year so far. Young Male Wrestler, El Hijo del Villano 3. Female Young Wrestler, Himika. Male Veteran Wrestler, Jericho. Female Wrestler, Asuka. Female Wrestler, Yoshirai. And this is all so far. So, Chuck Mambo. Female Independent Wrestler. That's, it's not Aminata. Amazon. I was like, she goes under a different name. I knew that. Yeah. Mikey Nichols' social media storm. Between him and a young fan, bullying behavior. No, he's just Australian, right? He's Australian, yeah. He's not bullying, he's just Australian. New Japan locker room leader, Manabu Nakanishi. Tom Phillips and John Morrison have bonded. Bobby Roode to begin a new feud in MLW. I want to see real quick. What was Hiroshi Tanahashi's big send-off match? What was his big send-off match? Kizuna Road Night 3. Where him and Toa Hinare, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Big R Shimizu defeat Bullet Club, Bad Luck Fale, and Gorillas of Destiny. Yeah, that's that Aaron Henry, that's Hinare, right? He ended up being Aaron Hinare. So yeah, him, Hinare, and Big R beat the Bullet Club at a random house show. And that is the end of Hiroshi Tanahashi's illustrious career at New Japan. My God. His last one-on-one match didn't actually happen at any time when I've been playing on TEW 9. He's showing up in random tag matches, and that's it. Wow. All right. So that's July. We are done. Lord, that was still an hour and a half. Another tape, bro. What, Hinare? Or Tanahashi? Tape bro Tanahashi. Can you imagine? All right. So let me check to make sure nothing's here. Oh, I do have mail. Okay. Nothing, basically. So we start off. We've gone through. We are 6 days out from our first official new weekly show. I went back to the well of Hawkeye Pro. I went back to Adrenaline. It's been like 5 years. I think it's fine. I can kind of go back to that, can't I? Not to mention it's a good name. I was like spitballing names. I was like kind of workshopping names with myself. I couldn't really think of anything better. I had some other ideas, but I'm like, we'll just call it Adrenaline. Just like Friday Night Adrenaline or something, you know? Something along those lines. Just going to be a weekly show. Kind of like CMLL doing their Super Viernes. Their weekly Friday show. We've got our own weekly Friday show in the same venue. Bro gets his names from M. Dickey Games. I wouldn't say, is that something that M. Dickey has on his? I didn't know that. I don't remember that being a thing. Adrenaline's just been a thing since my freaking since my backyard wrestling days. Either way, we've got shows. We've got new shows coming up. His finisher state is called Adrenaline. Oh, is it? Okay. I forget about that. Either way, I am done. It is time for bed. I need to go to bed. I have finished this up. It's been an hour and a half. I'll have to do some cutting and stuff for how I usually do it. But at the very least, the live VOD and everything else is up. So there you go. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming out. It has been a long day. I know it's been a few weeks since I've done this, so I do appreciate people still coming out and watching, even at a time where I hadn't streamed in a little while. I need to get around to doing that more often, and then have do some other things as well. I have Marvelous Gotcha later. Oh, are they doing that? They're doing that in just a few hours then, I assume. Yeah. So yeah. I keep saying I gotta come around and do this more often than I don't. And then especially with the fact that we're coming close to Christmas, I'm gonna be just non-existent for like December. So either way, thank you guys. I appreciate it. If you're watching this live, you're watching this on VOD, anything like that, thank you. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time.